now have the second part of our select board meeting and public hearing. For those of you that didn't know, we went into executive session at 5:30 and moved back out. Under the public hearing, we have a new business license for Jay's Trash Removal located at 49 Jugtown Road. Is there anybody here to speak for that? Yep, come up front.
She wants to start a trash business.
Sat in the trash business.
Well, I've been doing it for 40 years, but
Yep.
Are
Okay.
you going to be dumping into the transfer station? That's where you, all residential?
yep.
Good. Anything else? That's it? Any questions from anybody? We're all set. Thank you. A new business license for Lakeside Trash Pickup located at 18 Cessna Way. Anybody here to speak for that one?
My name is Dan. How you doing?
Good. Good. What? Go ahead. Tell
Okay,
us.
well, same situation. We're just doing residential, Naples and Casco only.
Yeah.
We have our commercial haulers permit to go to the transfer station.
Okay.
I just got a truck and a trailer. Gonna be hauling it with that.
Okay. Good. Anybody got any questions for him?
Thank you, Ed.
18 Cessna Way is a neighborhood for the business. I guess my
Can
question
you come up if you got questions, please?
My question is, 18 Cessna Way, my neighbor, I live in a little neighborhood. What are we doing with all the trash?
It's going to the dump. Where it belongs.
Nothing stored.
No, I got a little overview right there. Also sent that out to all our neighbors as a word and promise. Nothing will be coming to or stored or dumped or kept. No residents' trash will be at my house. We have our own trash, of course.
Yep.
Mr. Chair, can I just ask
Sure.
a question of clarification? When someone comes for a new business license, Randy, are they first, they come to the town office and they go to code enforcement and they find out what ordinances they need to follow?
That would be a Katrina question, and she's not here today.
Okay.
But
Because my question is, as someone who had been sitting in the audience, is what does someone have to go through before appearing right now to say, can I have my business license? Because, for example, if you're, I think it's great that you're starting a new business, but if you're having a business in your home, have they gone through whatever's necessary for home occupation? And, for example, what are there rules about trucks that you would have?
So my truck hasn't changed. It's a
Okay.
daily driver, same standard pickup truck. And the trailer's smaller than my boat, which is a lake boat. I mean, I don't plan on going any bigger, ever. This is on the side. I work a full-time job doing landscaping and firewood delivery. So this is gonna be a weekend thing, Saturdays. When Saturdays fill up, it's gonna move into Sundays. Only on days where the dump is open, only times where I can make it to the dump before it closes and empty my trailer. And if any holidays fall on that, we will be moving at that with the customers to the following day that the dump is open.
I just want to make sure that a new business would follow anything that code enforcement requires.
And so I went to code, and they didn't have any concerns. I don't remember the town manager's name, but I came to him and asked him previous questions, what hoops I need to jump through. This is the only one that seems to be in place. We did everything with the government prior, everything with insurance prior, and here we are for the last step.
So back to the question that you had, I mean, was that your concern that they were going to be storing
Yes,
stuff?
my big concern is that trash is gonna find its way to the business address.
And-
That's my major one concern for obvious reasons.
Yep.
And so that won't be an issue. That won't be happening. We bought a house in Naples because it's nice up here. We wouldn't be coming here to make a dump in our yard. Also, on the picture that I gave you, we order bins. We have bins to give out to the customers to mitigate any littering in the town. I've seen towns that don't use bins. There's plow trucks, there's animals, there's snowstorms, there's wind that carries trash throughout the town, and it looks pretty not great. So we bought bins to give out, free of charge to the customers to keep their trash contained, and they're expected to use that. We have another question right here.
Go ahead.
What do you do with the trash on the off days?
We're not operating on the off days.
No operation
No.
on the off days?
No, it's strictly for when the dump is open.
Okay,
I'm gonna run in the morning and stop before the dump closes with time to make it there.
yep.
So I officially get it on record, strictly residential trash, no business, commercial, and at the Kittery Naples transfer station.
Correct.
You mean Casco Naples?
Casco,
Naples.
Naples.
Naples, Casco, yeah.
Naples Casco, yes, sir.
Yeah. Anything else? Anybody? Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have a entertainment permit for Smokin' Jay's Wicked Barbecue, located at 1124 Roosevelt Trail.
That would be me. How are you?
Good.
So we'd like to have entertainment at the restaurant if it's possible. So we're asking for that and to find out parameters because we have heard lots of stories about different sort of parameters for businesses before. So we just want to know if we do get it, what we can do and what we're allowed to do.
So somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you could only have entertainment inside.
Okay, that's fine, and we'll abide by whatever rules. I've just had multiple people come and say they used to do entertainment, the business directly before us used to do it, like karaoke and stuff out of the deck and didn't have an issue, but I just want to make sure.
They may have applied for a special permit for that.
It's just like,
No?
Teddy, when I look,
We live up there,
Yeah.
there's no outside entertainment.
so I've had, and I don't know, and I've had two specific people come and said, are you gonna get the entertainment? They used to do karaoke on the deck, so,
If they did, it was probably not enforced if they shouldn't.
okay, that's fine, so only entertainment inside. Now, can we have speakers on the deck just to have some music, not live entertainment, but if I wanted to have, because we're only open till 8,
Well,
possibly 9.
if I may, this came up a couple of years ago as a problem, and we went back and looked at the ordinance. In fact, I went out and dug the ordinances when this come up right now. And the only thing I can find is we wouldn't change that ordinance that says the decibel of music at Gary's was the problem. It had to be 200 feet or the nearest residential property line couldn't be no more than 70 decibels. I can't find anything that says she can't have entertainment outside, unless you guys know something I couldn't find.
Well, isn't it something to do with the business district and the residential district? Because that business is not in the business district.
Are you in a village?
I'm right at, where.
I know where you are, I just don't know which.
So we're actually, we've been told we've been zoned residential, but Great Northern Docks is commercial.
Right.
We're the newbies in town. You guys tell me what to do and we'll do it, but, it is a beautiful deck. It would be nice to have a little live music if possible, but we will do whatever it takes. We just want to be able to have some music and
I
entertainment.
thought that's why the other restaurant closed. Because you said you couldn't have the license and have the music on the outside.
Well, there was a problem, like she said, Doc's is commercial right beside it, and they're residential, and we tried to get, there was talk at the time to make that section where she is commercial. And I don't know if it ever happened, I don't
No.
think so, but it didn't, right, no,
A
yeah.
vote never happened.
That voted
Okay, so no music out on the deck, but what about speakers with music if I'm not going, I'm obviously not gonna be blasting it everywhere, but just a little light music so people could listen to it on the deck?
I can't answer that question today.
Okay, so would I have to come back, or is that something I could just follow up on through the town office?
Maybe the code office perhaps?
Kathy.
Because it's not live entertainment anymore, it's just, you know, It'd be like having a TV out there, I guess, really.
Okay,
But-
and then one more question. If I have music inside, can I have my door and window open if they're inside?
I believe so.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate all the help.
Does that fall under site plan review?
No, the code office should know the answer. I have a new business license for Causeway Commons LLC located at 978 Roosevelt Trail.
That's me.
There was a previous retail use of the property, but because it had been closed for over a year, I guess I had to come in front of you, but it's the same use as what it was previously used for.
Which one is it?
The old Christmas shop, Country Sleigh.
Country Sleigh. Okay. And you're doing the same type of business?
Yes, it's a mix of souvenirs and then Maine-made artisans are renting space and selling their goods there.
Thank you.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah, seriously, it's good.
Any questions for that one? Comments? Colin, you all set? Colin? Colin's muted.
It's at the refrigerator.
I guess he's all set. All right, thank you.
Do you need me to stay?
We don't approve the permits until the next section.
I just have one question. I haven't been following it well enough. There was some talk about having to-go food.
Hold on, Colin, hold on. One at a
To-go
time.
food, and you have to know what to-go food meant, prepackaged, like salads and sandwiches. Not like actual to-go, like drive-through. Thanks. Yeah.
All right, so we're only hearing Colin through your computer.
Did not know that. I turned off the mute. Can you hear us now, Colin?
Yeah, now I can. Thanks, Randy.
Newbie.
What would, Colin, you was trying to say something, we couldn't hear you. And we still can't hear him.
Colin, were you asking a question?
I was responding earlier. I was watching an LRTV because you had the video off too, so I can't see or hear what's going on.
Thought the video was staring at me.
Can you hear Ted now when he talks? Ted?
Colin, can you hear me?
Yes, now I can. I can hear you too, Kevin. I can hear Randy. I just can't see you guys.
We can only hear you through the speaker of Randy's computer.
So the high's not connected.
So you're gonna have to talk with a high voice. Unless the LRTV.
I can hear you, Ted. Keep going.
Hold on a second, they're trying to fix it.
I pulled up LRTV and was watching what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, the owl's not working, so it's not showing up as a speaker. You're just gonna have to repeat what he says.
Okay. Did you hear
So
that?
I can hear Randy. You're fine.
All right.
All right, if he was saying something on that permit, have him repeat it, please.
Oh, there you are. We can stare at each other.
So you didn't have anything to say about that?
Me? No.
Okay, good, we'll move on. We have a liquor license application for the American Legion Post 155 located at 26 Casco Road. Anybody here for that one? Any questions from the audience? Seeing none. We also have an entertainment permit for the American Legion Post 155. Any questions for the entertainment permit? Seeing none. We have a new business license for Goodhue Naples LLC located at 34 Naples Marina Lane.
Good evening.
Go ahead.
So we acquired the old Naples Marina, so we're just continuing the same exact process that was there. So just want to get approval for that.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Any questions for this gentleman? Seeing none. We have a liquor license for Trillium Events Incorporated, located at 222 State Park Road. Anybody here for that one? Any questions?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
222 State Park Road is a residential condo setup. Their business license is in Belfast, Maine. And my question is they having an event at 222 and that's what this is, a wedding? Or certainly they're not trying to open a commercial business at 222 State Park Road?
The way I read the application is that it's the Duffy residence, and Paige Duffy is getting married there, and they've hired Trillium Events as the caterer.
So it's a
So it's
caterer
a
event
one-day,
versus...
on the front page it says number of event days 1, from 9 to 12.
Does these event companies have to get a permit for every event they're holding, no matter?
I'm sorry, I think Michael is with.
I can answer that.
There you go.
My application is, my name is Michael from Trillium Caterers. It's a qualified catering permit for using my liquor license at various venues. We do private events at people's homes or at event venues. We do about like 30 every summer, and I have to submit an application. It goes through the state website. It goes to the municipal body, usually like a city clerk or before a select board, to get a thumbs up. Before then, the state liquor enforcement officer can give it a thumbs up. So the application is just to let you guys know that we'd like to cater that event there and use my liquor license in order to do it.
So this license for a one-time event, whatever hours that you're holding,
Correct.
whatever the event is. All right, thank you.
Yeah, it's just for the one day.
Yeah.
Anything else for this liquor license? Good, thank you. Moving on to the regular scheduled meeting. Please rise to salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And in attendance tonight is all the board members, with Colin Brackett joining us via Zoom. Review of the meeting minutes from May 12th, 2025. Need a motion and a second.
Motion to accept.
Second.
Motion from Stephen and a second from Kevin. Any errors, omissions that we need to talk about? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? I'm sorry, Colin, you was in favor? Thank you. And one abstention. Because she was not a member of the board at the time. Town manager's report.
Okay, I'll try to keep it brief. I'm going to start with going over projects. So the Village Green project, we've met with members of the Parks and Land Use Committee to review the progress. And the committee reviewed the project plan and diagram and discussed the intent of the project. And the team agreed that the near-term focus should be on improving the condition of the gazebo and the lawn. And that longer term, the focus will be on improving the planting beds and moving some of the granite around and things of that nature. But short term, it'll be mostly about the lawn and the gazebo. We've reached out to the local area contract for advice on proper specifications and scope of work for completing the lawn work. Make sure it meets standards when it's done. Hoping to hear from him soon. And then Steve is committed to conducting the repairs on the gazebo prior to July 4th. And the initial focus will be on replacing damaged deck boards and painting both the deck and the rest of the structure. And in the fall, the team will look at replacing the lattice work. So He's also committed to providing several days of support from 2 of his team members in the fall so that we can work on plantings and some of the gravel and other types of projects out there. And we'll be looking to the PLUC for direction and guidance on things so that when we move plants around, everything meets with what the expectations are. We've also reached out to local contractor to determine how much of the original scope of the work remains to be done and how much of the funding is still available. And the work that remains to be done includes the 6 tables or picnic tables and trash cans, 2 benches by the Christmas tree, and then he was going to remove crushed rock from either side of the town side and add loam. So you know, if you're looking at it from behind on this side, there's crushed stone that goes down. Getting that planted and cleaned up and looking better. And then he was gonna revisit the grass growth after Labor Day. But I think before we do that, we gotta make a determination whether we've got the right soil out there before we put more money into that. And then some issues that we have, one of the flowering apple trees appears to be dead, but that is covered by warranty, and he's checking on availability. He said they generally only dig those up in the spring and the fall. So there may not be any available. And he'll deal with it when they are available. And then the other thing, the transplanted maple next to the gazebo may be dead. I don't know if it was shocked, because there is some green on it. It's just been slow coming. And it could have been that it just, the movement shocked it. But anyways, that one would be on us. It's a transplanted tree. It's not one that he provided. So, any questions about that? Okay, fiber optics. Well, hold on.
I have a question.
Yep.
What's this gonna cost us?
Right now, the project, the money was already raised for the project, so it was $125,000.
It's already been raised?
Yeah, appropriated, raised and appropriated during previous town meeting. Not this past one, but the one before.
Okay, thanks, yep.
Yep.
So Randy, right now, this green is as is until we get through our summer events.
Correct, yeah. Yep. We'll use that time to figure out what it's gonna take to get it to look the way we want it to look. So, they are coming to mow it on Thursday, so right now it looks a little, not so great. Okay, fiber optics, the contract is with our lawyer. Actually, I heard back from them just before the meeting started. They had a lot of markups to the contract, so it's gonna take a little bit to digest it. And I've asked for Sebago Fiber to give us a copy of the original proposal. We don't seem to have it in our files. And it's really important, what was the specifications for the fiber that's being laid, how many strands we're getting, all of that sort of stuff. So I wanna make sure that's captured in the contract, so that when we get to the end, we know that we got what we paid for. And then they also talk about the first 20 years of lease, there's no cost, but then they talk about the next 20 years, and it's really vague if that's gonna be free as well, because if it was, why doesn't it say 40 years? Or if there's gonna be a cost in 20 years, and if there is, I'd like to understand what that might be. I have a meeting with them on the 12th at 10 o'clock to talk about these questions, so. And then on the recreation center, just to let you know that the team kind of getting momentum going again on that. And right now, we're just trying to get an understanding of what the cost might be for something like that, and whether the site is the appropriate site from a soil standpoint. And we're also looking at trying to do some high-level evaluation of drainage and septic. And then for Kent's Landing, we're still waiting on a proposal from Wright Pierce. I haven't received that yet. And then from the clerk and the tax collector's office, stating that the traffic has increased significantly, happens every year this time when we come into the summer season. But also the new license plates are putting a lot of burden on those different counters, so, because everybody's switching over. So that was kind of, I would say, it's an abnormal. And then the oversight of the cemeteries is taking more than originally anticipated, and they know there's a lot more work to be done in updating the maps. I heard that also from Steve, and they continue to have some issues with the RFID tags at the transfer station, and I know like those people are working on that. Maintenance, ditching to begin on June 9th as follows. So on the week of June 9th, they'll be on the Songo School Road between Wiggins and the State Park Road. Then on the 12th, they'll be on the Gore Road between Harbor Drive and the Plunge Pools. And then on the 16th, they'll be on the Lambs Mill Road from Kids Count to Route 302. And the 10th for the Songo Lock School will be up for summer camp, somewhere between the 16th and the 19th. So that'll be in plenty of time for Brian and his team. Any questions on that?
I'm glad you're taking a close look at that contract with Sebago Fiber.
Can I add in some stuff for that?
You can after he's done. I don't think he's done yet.
Okay.
We'll have public next.
It was just to answer some of his questions on the Sebago Fiber. Just point him
Yep.
in direction.
Okay, go ahead.
If you go listen to the budget committee meeting
Yep.
that Sebago came and spoke to, he did discuss the happens after 20 years. So the first 20 years, we had him on record saying that they were supposed to be covering the cost at 100%.
Yeah.
After the 20 years, it was sold to us as we own it. So Naples is supposed to be paying for any and all maintenance after that. He did say it would be between the ballpark of 2,000 to 4,000
A year?
supposedly.
Okay.
So it was discussed, as was the contract and the amounts, at one of the budget meetings, and it was in February, mid-February? I think it's the back of mid-February.
Thank you.
I'll keep you up to date on that as we move forward. Okay. And then for recreation, the baseball, softball, and quickball seasons are wrapping up. There was 125 students who participated on 12 teams, and they were coached by 20-plus coaches and support volunteers, so pretty significant effort. I spelled it wrong. Fatherfest, not Featherfest, will be taking place on Sunday, June 15th from 11:30 to 4:30 at the Town Beach in the Village Green. I don't know if you saw it on Channel 13 News today. We had the owner of the Songo River Queen and...
Chelsea.
What's that?
Chelsea.
Chelsea. I thought they both did a fine job.
Yeah.
So, pretty exciting. There seems to be a lot of interest in this on the web, so we'll see how it turns out with participation. But they got a lot of really neat things going on. The event will include food trucks, live music, and lots of activities for kids of all ages. And the events are planned to have a real dad vibe. So the things that they're doing are meant to keep the dads interested too. So there's a lot of cool stuff. And then the Naples Summer Camp will be starting on June 23rd. There are 13 seasonal positions to support that. And staff training starts on Friday, June 13th. There are currently 116 campers enrolled. 76 are from Naples, 27 are from Casco, and another 13 from surrounding towns or visitors from out of state. There are some campers on the waiting list, but Brian and the team continue to work on a staffing plan that would allow everyone who's registered to participate. And this year's registration was a 90% increase over the pre-pandemic numbers. So, big increase. And then I've got two other things. Kate Matthews from the CEO office has resigned after 13 years. She is now with Otisfield. And then we've added a position, the ACO position was filled. And just to give everybody some background on that, there were 7 applicants. All were invited to come interview. Only one accepted. And that person interviewed very well, and it was a committee interview. And we offered that position to Ted Shane. So Ted has accepted, so he'll be the ACO. And then just as an aside to that, just because I've been through this before, you always expect some people might have some comments about conflict of interest. So I got with Maine Municipal Association, talked with the lawyers. did some reading on my own and stuff, and what it comes down to is when you have this form of municipal government, where you have a select board, a town manager, there's no statutory conflict of interest. Because in the ACO position, I would be the supervisor, and Ted would not be working for himself. So that's really where the conflict of interest comes in. And then you have the perception of the conflict of interest, and what that really means is if we're having discussions, and it really doesn't come to this board, you make recommendations, but ultimately it goes to the voters, the legislative branch, right? If it was anything involved that would financially benefit Ted, he should, and in talking with Ted, he will recuse himself and not be part of any conversations related to setting wages, benefits, that sort of thing. So the lawyers were very confident and comfortable, and I was very confident and comfortable that there is no conflict of interest in this situation. And it's not uncommon. You can have people that sit on select boards that also run road companies that bid out for contracts, and that's allowed. It's a small state, small towns, right? And stuff like this happens. You just gotta, be ethical and make sure you don't vote when it personally benefits you. So, and then finally, I just wanted a couple of thoughts. I'm still getting acclimated, and there's a lot to get caught up on. It's very busy, a lot of things going on, lots of projects. The team here is wonderful, very positive attitudes, positive can-do attitudes, very collaborative, and so that was very pleasing. And I'm also trying to get out and meet people, so I've been attending every committee and every board meeting. So I've seen the planning board, the appeals board, I've met with the rec teams, the Parks and Land Use Committee, I visited the library, I was just over at the Historical Society, met with some business owners up and down the strip and stuff, so I just get more and more excited about it every day.
Good.
So that's the end of my report.
Thank you. Does the board have anything for the town manager?
All set.
Colin? Muted again?
No, I'm good. Thanks, Eddie.
That's it. We will now open public participation. Anybody here from the public that would speak before the meeting tonight?
I would like to look into high-volume pumps to hook into the hydrant system. I figure it's gonna take 3 years to get there. So we gotta start doing some looking to where to put them and engineering. So I would like everybody to know that I wanna talk to DOT to put them beside the bridge. It's gonna take a little bit to get there, so. So we're all on the same page.
That's where the pumps should be.
Huh?
That's where the pumps should be.
Should be, yeah. Should have been put, well, it was on the other side, but I think we can put them between the amphitheater and the water, right there, and still have the sidewalk go around.
So right now, you're just in the investigation stage.
Yeah, I just wanna know if, I don't wanna destroy the bridge if I put the pumps there. We also have the water is eroding underneath the sidewalk. So that's gonna have to get fixed anyhow, so sooner or later. And so I just wanna talk to the bridge guy and see if it's all possible that might be one place to put it, Town Beach is another place, but I think the cost and one thing or another is gonna be a little better down the bridge.
There's always water there.
Huh?
There's always water there. There isn't
And
always
it
water at the
don't-
town beach.
It don't freeze either.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so that's what I wanna look into.
So obviously, if doing high-volume pumps was in the future of the town of Naples.
Yeah.
It would be a taxpayer vote.
Oh,
But-
yeah, it's gonna
but,
take 3 years to get there. You gotta do engineering, design, the whole work.
But if we had some ballpark numbers, possibly when it went in front of the budget committee every year, we could start tucking away a little bit of money instead of
Good.
coming up with all of it at once.
Yeah.
So
We-
if you have any numbers by December or January, it's something that certainly could be talked about at the budget
So
process.
the first thing you do is you go for engineering.
Mhm.
Well, I don't think I'm gonna give you any numbers, because you don't get to vote on it until spring for the engineering.
Mhm.
Then you do the engineering, you might be able to come up with some costs. So it's gonna be 2 years from now before you vote on the cost.
Well, you could certainly vote on the engineering piece in the first year.
Right.
And then vote on
Yeah.
the rest of it later.
Right, but it's gonna be next spring before we vote on the engineering.
Yeah.
I just wanna try to get an idea of whether or not it can be done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Hey, Teddy,
Yeah, go ahead.
can you help me understand this one? We just put and spent 600 grand for tanks that were supposed to solve this problem. Are we saying now that the 600 grand we spent on tanks doesn't fix the problem?
We all grow, and if you're gonna add industry, all the way down 302 and all the way up the other way, and all these developments, one thing, you're gonna have to have fire protection. It's gonna be a growing situation, just
So-
like anything else.
So basically, Colin, what he's saying is what we've already done
It's
will
awesome.
get us water to where we are. But once we want to expand beyond that, it's going to take a pump system.
Well, you only got 100,000 gallons, and you've got a tank, a ladder truck that put out 1,600 gallons a minute. That ain't very long,
Mhm.
but it's a good start. We had to have some tanks, because the other ones were gonna collapse, and that's where we're at. But in a long period firefighting, you're gonna need
More than what
400
we
to
got.
500 gallons a minute, refilling it while they're using it.
I think Teddy, Eddie has a good point with future growth and whatnot, and
Yeah.
we're at a good point right now,
But it's gonna take 3 years before you even start putting the pumps in the holes.
but for the future development, if we want to lessen the impact on all the taxpayers in Naples, we could start requiring each individual project to have fire suppression within their own project. And at that point, the burden isn't on our fire department, isn't on our fire suppression,
Right.
If we want to consider putting more money to keep up with future development, then maybe we should think about changing our ordinances or the code so that people that build a warehouse.
It's gonna be a growing situation.
Yeah, I definitely was never under the impression that we were gonna have to increase water flow again. That the 100,000 gallon tank we just spent 600 grand on was gonna fit the bill. And I agree with Kevin, if there's future development industry or not, that they should provide their own, and we should stick that in ordinance and send it to OR to evaluate.
I really didn't hear a lot of that.
I think it's two different discussions. I think what Ed is talking about would resupply the use that we're going to use out of that tank, but also would help with expansion in the future. I mean, at this point, it's no discussion about any money, he would like to look into what it's going to cost down the road.
I agree, but if the concern is future growth, then we should also now start presenting this to the ordinance review or to the community that we want.
I agree with that.
We want new development, new projects.
Yep, agree.
Thank you.
Anybody else from public participation? She stood before you did.
She's younger too.
New sweatshirts?
Only if you work in the clerk's office.
All right.
So my name is Jessie. I am a Naples resident and I also work in the office. And I just had a couple quick statements I would like to make in response to statements that were made at the last select board meeting in May. The code enforcement office is not open 5 days a week. It is open Tuesday through Thursday. And it has been stated multiple times in public meetings, in forums, that they are open 5 days and they are not. So I would just like to say that is the correct information. The code enforcement office is not open on Fridays. Another thing I wanted to make a statement about is that in regards to the board not sitting on the stage at town meeting, that was not something that the clerk's office put into place. It was given to the town manager to give to the board to decide what they wanted to do. So that did not come from the clerk's office. And the Secretary of State's name is Shenna Bellows, not Shannon. Well, that's fine, but she's an elected official that the state voted into office, so, yeah. About what?
That was for me. That was
So, the last meeting, it was pointed out that the clerk's office said that the select board did not have to sit on the stage at town meeting, and that was not true.
No, I heard that it came from.
Yeah,
We
the
took-
Secretary of State's
It
office.
did not come from the Secretary of State's office.
Well, that's what was said at the meeting.
It came from a moderator's training
Right. Yes, I heard that.
through MMA Legal, and it was presented to the town manager, who presented it to the board to make their decision. And that was all I had to say.
I'm not intimidated by the selectmen sitting on there. And if you're intimidated by me, you're in a lot of bad shape.
They don't intimidate me and never have.
Well, so, I'm confused, the code office is open Monday through Thursday?
Yep,
which you
guys set last year to start in July.
I thought I heard you say Tuesday through Thursday.
No, the clerk's office is open Tuesday through Friday.
So as far as the comment about the selectmen sitting on the stage, there was misinformation that was given to us, and I'll leave it at that. And going forward, we will decide if we're gonna sit on the stage or not.
Misinformation given to you from who?
No,
from who?
The former town manager.
Okay, just wanted to make sure it wasn't from me.
It was not from you.
Thank you. Jesse's correct. I've stood up here at least 3 times. I did it at the town meeting, I did it at the last meeting here, and I'm pretty sure I've done it before that. And Kate sat in the audience, the town manager was sitting right there, and the 5 of you were sitting there, not one of you corrected me. I was under the impression that the code enforcement office had somebody working on Monday and somebody working on Friday. So apparently a lot of you didn't know that either, because somebody would have said something. And Jason corrected me after the last town meeting and told me that they changed direction. That was the original plan, but that the code enforcement officer was going to work on Saturdays, on the Saturdays that you were open. So then things got changed. But somebody should have said, I've said this 3 times because I've been very critical of the clerk's office, not open 5 days a week. And somebody should have said, oh, by the way, because I would have been critical of the code office, not open 5 days a week at all. Let me ask another question before we get all confused. I was told that maintenance department works 5 days a week, that there's a crew on Monday and a crew on Friday. Is that correct?
I can tell you that I have talked to Steve, well, I'll let him answer the question, but I've talked to Steve probably for the last 3 Fridays, and they have been working.
Okay, so that is correct.
Are they working 5 days a week?
Honestly, I'll check into that, but Usually road crews have summer and winter hours, right? And in the winter, they'll work more than they do in the summer. And that's because they have to for the storms and everything. But I'll check into it.
Okay, so, I mean, if somebody says something and it's wrong, somebody should freaking correct you.
So, on the Saturday thing about the code enforcement office, I believe you were still a member of the board.
Yeah.
And when we discussed the Saturday openings for the clerk's office, we wanted the code enforcement office one Saturday a month.
Oh, okay, yeah. We wanted them there in case the residents in the, yeah.
Yep, the people from away could come in and get permits.
Yeah.
Yep, they weren't working both of them, they was working one, Saturday.
So I apologize for just picking on the clerk's office, because I should have been picking on the code office as well.
Now,
Two things.
so going forward, Jim,
Yeah.
we are going to be advertising to replace Kate, the vacant spot in the code office. And quite possibly, this board could talk with the town manager and make sure that the new hire is aware that one of them can work on a Friday.
That would be awesome. I mean, I think
There's
that's.
nothing wrong with one of them working Monday and one working Friday.
Right, that's the direction we need to go in my opinion. Two quick
Now,
things.
I did say that's not a decision.
I know.
We will talk
Right.
about it.
At least you're talking about it, that's a start, that's a start. Quick question, I don't understand why the flags weren't up for Memorial Day. All we had was 6, 8 flags here, the whole causeway doesn't have flags, going up to Gary's doesn't have flags. Last year, all the flags were up. I don't know where the flags are, but 4th of July is only 3 weeks away. I'm assuming this is not it for the whole year, that we're only gonna put flags. I mean, most other towns you drove through on Memorial Day, all their flags were up.
We always did do
Right.
all the polls.
Right, and we've got the staff to do it. I would.
Question for the manager to ask the maintenance department.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made a note.
And finally, I would suggest you guys look into the entertainment license for the barbecue thing. We went through hell with that whole thing. The residents got together, there was mailers that went out, there was a vote, and I believe, as it stands right now, you cannot get an entertainment permit in a residential zone. So I don't think you can even give a permit for indoors.
I thought we did. You was on the board. I
Right.
thought we did do it.
No, that's
indoor.
why, that's when all hell broke loose, and they said we didn't have the right to do that because it was in a residential zone, and then they put a petition together, they got the signatures, and it got voted down. So we might want to just check into that.
Well, I have a mental note that when we get to that one tonight,
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask that we table it until the next meeting until we get answers.
Yeah, because we've already been down that road.
Yes,
Yeah.
we have.
I just have a simple question about that, so.
Can you come up to the podium, please?
Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
just-
State your name, where you live.
Yeah. Michelle Thibodeau, I live right here in Naples and I'm also your town clerk. I just have a question about that because as a resident, like, would she be able to have like an Alexa on the stage with music for the residents to listen to as long as it's not, like, I mean, I have an Alexa going on my deck when I'm eating dinner in my residential zone and it's not bothering anybody. So just like if it's not a live band and she wants music on the deck, like I'm not coming for an entertainment permit to play my iPod on the deck. Just a
What
comment.
kind of music you listen to?
Depends, what don't you like? Just kidding.
You answer the question.
Come on. Kathy, I haven't forgot you.
No, I appreciate it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. No.
I just wanted to say, just so you all know, even with an entertainment license, if it were to be approved, we are not planning on being open late. Right now, our hours are till 8 o'clock. We might go to 9 o'clock, but I mean, if there was, even if we had to have it in certain daytime hours, so we want to make everybody happy. We just want to listen to some music and have that ability. We're not trying to overstep bounds. I'm not trying to ask for the moon. Just want to be able to have some live music and some entertainment purposes. But we do not we only got our beer and wine license. We are not planning on being I know of it before that it had become a local attraction for a local bar. That is not what we were looking to do. We were just looking to have some live music and maybe some music out on the deck, game night, trivia night, something like that.
Great, thank you. Kathy, you're up.
Well, not yet, but I do have a comment.
Well, you can comment and then you can talk about what you wanted to.
Okay, thank you. It's interesting, we all have different memories, but I was in the midst of the whole conversation with the prior owners. The biggest issue was that they wanted to go from residential to commercial. That's where the petition came in. When we met with John Hawley and that previous owner, we 110% supported their business, and as long as they followed the town regulations, residents were fine. Part of the issue was they didn't want to follow the town regulations. They didn't want to say when they wanted the entertainment, how long they wanted the entertainment. They wanted a blanket, we could do what we wanted. So I just wanted to clarify a couple points.
Great, thank you.
Yes. Okay. I do apologize. I got lost in a whole pond today, so I have not been able to go home and shower or anything, so I don't normally look this bedraggled. Seriously, it was anyway, I attended a budget committee, and I believe that the budget got passed by the town, and in the budget committee was a line item for the basketball/pickleball court to be resurfaced. And that seems to have gotten lost. Nobody seems to know what's happening, when it's happening, and we're hoping we could get some kind of an idea, because that particular court has had funds approved for multiple years, and nothing has ever gotten done. And this year, when I talked to Steve and he said at the budget committee, my concern was I don't want those funds to get lost yet another year. We'd like to have something done for the kids to have a decent surface and for us to be able to have a pickleball court. So if we could get some kind of answer.
Yeah, I took a note on that.
Okay.
We'll look at it.
Okay.
This week.
And the second part of that, the American Legion courts, again, when I spoke with Steve, he said he couldn't promise anything. Fair enough, because that wasn't asked for in the budget. But there seems to be a lot of confusion as to what is or is not happening. And I think the consensus has been from the people on the committee for the proposed rec building that may go there and may not. There doesn't seem to be any rationale for spending a lot of money over there. Nobody's asking for it to be resurfaced. No one is asking for it to be anything more than, can somebody see what it would cost to simply get the lines repainted? When there was 5 volunteers, and when we originally did just the lines, not resurfacing, just the lines, pickleball lines, we had access to a stencil. So we were able to literally go out, put the stencil down, take a can of spray paint, spray lines on. And we don't seem to be able to drum up the volunteers that we had before. So again, if we could get some kind of support or help, it's the only recreation adults we have in this town, quite frankly.
Took a note on both.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you.
I can just answer that real quick. At our your husband was there.
Yes.
At our recreation meeting this week, they have found a volunteer and they're painting those lines this week or next week.
No.
Oh, they're not? Well, that's what was said at the meeting.
Well, this is what it's gotten, because I just got a call from Craig. I just got a call before I came.
Okay.
There's, that whole package was going to be thousands of dollars to get the paint that we don't need. We don't need to repaint the whole court. It does not, all we need is a couple cans of spray paint and some lines.
I'm just telling you what they said at the meeting.
And I know, and that's why I brought it up here, because there's a lot of confusion as to what that whole thing meant.
Not my area, so I just know what was said.
Well, I know what was said.
Is it that simple? Is it
Steve, you want to go quick? Go ahead.
Yes, the pickleball court and that basketball court. And so such time as they make a determination on the gym, should we be putting money into that court no matter what? You're talking about the American Legion one?
Yeah, we're in hopes that the third time is the charm with the rec committee, and that the whole thing will be torn up, and we'll get what the citizens want. In the meantime, to put thousands of dollars into repainting the whole court.
It's
seems
foolish.
Foolish. So that's where there seemed to be, when we talked about painting the courts meant something different to the person who was gonna volunteer than it did to those of us who just wanted the lines repainted. Yeah, we absolutely don't advocate for spending much money at all over there.
Okay.
It's just whether or not the maintenance department has ever found anybody to just simply paint the lines.
Sam?
Hi, I'm Samantha Hayes. I'm a resident here. I also sit on the budget committee. I'm looking down because I'm talking with Steve right now about getting just the lines painted because he said it was going to be 25 grand to do the whole thing. There is a confusion. So we'll get that sorted out. I think, if I remember correctly, I think there was like $5,000 put aside for just lines. I remember having that conversation.
But not for the Route 11 courts. This was the ones back here.
Right.
Resurfaced.
Back here, right, basketball courts, yeah. He says if you just want to spray the lines, we'll get it done next week.
Okay, thank you.
So, that's done.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
Anytime. I wanted to talk really quickly about the town vote. I was really upset with how it was conducted. I was really upset with the moderator not taking control. I'm really upset with the way the rules were set, that you had to come to the podium, you had to introduce yourself, you had to speak there. We had someone call out to move the last question. It was seconded again out in the audience. It was voted on. It was moved. I personally, volunteering my time on the budget committee, I sit as the vice chair. I put in months of my time. I put in overnights researching everything and everyone and every business that came in here. I made phone call after phone call, and I was ready to give all the information that the town needed on Sebago Fiber. And I was not given that chance because the rules were not followed the way that they should have been. And they were not followed by the moderator, and they were not followed by the town manager. And that seems to be common here in the town of Naples. We seem to follow the rules that we want as long as it pushes the agenda that we want at the end of the day. We don't follow the state rules, we follow Naples rules. And if the rules of the state say one thing, Naples somehow finds a way to make them say something different. For an example, you said you spoke to MMA and that there was no conflict of interest for
Statutory.
Mr. Shane to be sitting as the ACO and also on the select board. Title 30A, which is underneath municipalities, section 2606, prohibited appointments. No municipal officer during the term for which that officer has been elected for 1 year thereafter may be appointed to any civil office of profit or employment position of the municipality which was created or the compensation of which was increased by the action of the municipal officers during the officer's term. That section shall not be construed to prohibit actions allowed or requirement under state or federal law, municipal ordinance, or municipal charter.
Do you want me to speak to that?
No, I'm not ready yet. Also, underneath Title 30A, the municipalities and counties, 2636, the powers and duties of the town manager. The town manager shall execute all laws and ordinances of the town. The department head in any office as the head of any department under the control of the select board when is directed by the select board. If there is no town manager, if that town manager is to step down, that job falls to the select board. The way the budget works in this town is the departments and the heads of the departments are to give the town manager what they think is appropriate for their department and what they need for that following year. The town manager is then to go and take that and to give it to the budget committee. We then go through, we make our suggestions, it goes to the board. The board votes. What the board votes goes to the town. If you were all worried about sitting on the stage because you thought it was going to be too much for the town and was going to push people one way or the other, then we absolutely should not be having our chair be head of an ACO department. Because what's going to happen is, no one here that's sitting, except for maybe Arlene, because I don't know how she is, and I think she's going to say what she wants. No one else is going to sit up and say, Ted, you're not following the rules. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're not getting the dogs that are over down on Chaplin that are out every other day that we see on Facebook. And if that's a problem, that is a conflict of interest. Because if there is a problem, the town manager is supposed to be the one taking care of it, but he reports back to the select board. If there's a removal, it reports back to the select board. How are you going to have a meeting from a select board about someone that sits on the select board if there's a problem?
I don't have any problem.
I know, that's why I'm so happy you're sitting there. This used to be a gym. But we couldn't figure out how to not make it fall apart. We couldn't get ahead of the problem. And now, you're telling people, I'll step down if there's a problem. So we're not getting ahead, once again, of the problem. There is a conflict of interest. There is title on it. There is state law on it. You should be stepping down. If this position is good for you and your family, then by all means, you should be taking it. But you should not be sitting there. You know better than that. And if Maine law can't come right out and say it, because that's what Maine does, we tiptoe around facts, right? We want to keep it gray. We hate black and white. Massachusetts comes right out and says it. In addition, as a selectman, you may not vote or act in any matter with any purview of the municipal agency by which you were employed or which you have official responsibility. As discussed above, if you serve as a selectman in the town in which the population of 10,000 or fewer, you are considered a special municipal employee. Purposes of conflict of interest of law. It also says in Massachusetts that if for some reason you have to sit on both, you don't get to choose which revenue you receive.
This is Maine,
It's
not
Maine.
Massachusetts.
So we can actually do an ordinance. And you can make an ordinance that says just this. But I don't see why we have to have a big problem first. I think we need to get ahead of the problem before it becomes a problem. This is a brand new position. It's a lot of money. It was created while you were sitting there. It may be something great. You may be the best at it. But you shouldn't be sitting there while taking on this position. And it shouldn't be left to anyone else whether they can or cannot make the decision to make you step down. It should be left to you.
So now I can respond to that. Last I knew, we don't follow Massachusetts law. And myself and others,
But all Title A is Maine.
I gave you your chance to
But
speak.
all Title A is Maine.
I gave you your chance to speak.
Just clarifying.
And I researched MMA law before I even applied for the job. And so did the former town manager and the new town manager. And MMA law has nothing against being on the board and being an employee. I have offered to these other 4 selectmen, they have no problem stepping down as chair.
Shouldn't be. You should just be stepping down. You shouldn't be letting up to other people to make that decision for you, because they're obviously not. And that's the
Well,
entire point.
That's an election that's gonna happen tonight.
Mm.
I don't nominate myself. And as far as it being a problem, it's not a problem yet,
Yeah, exactly.
until a certain group of people wanna make it a problem. Randy, you was gonna respond to her Title
Yeah.
30.
I think, I reached out to MMA and I got written statement back from them, and Jason did the same thing. And their response to Jason when he asked about this was, because Naples has a town manager, a common law incompatibility does not exist with the select board. an animal control officer position. This is because the select board does not have direct supervision over animal control officer position. This is from MMA legal staff, Adelia Weber, staff attorney. So Jason.
Well, you're right, but they have direct over you. You have direct over ACO.
Yep, and when we've
So
said that,
anything
when
you
there,
do.
when there is,
So
there's,
anything you do has to go to them.
there's, in the state of Maine, there's a difference between a perception of a conflict of interest and a legal conflict of interest. MMA has stated there is no legal, no statutory conflict of interest. That, you can look it up and it's there. They have said that if there ever is a situation where a conflict of interest comes about, Ted should say, I have a conflict of interest here, and I need to step down from this decision. And I've talked to Ted about it, and Jason talked with Ted about it, and that's how you get around things like that. In small towns like this, it's not uncommon for people to have multiple jobs. I've been a select person in another town for 18 years, and I've come across a lot of different things like this. You can't be a CEO and be a member of the select board, but what state statute allows is for the whole board to take on the role. So if I wasn't here, the board could take on the role as a board of town manager, and then, once again, there's no conflict of interest because the whole board is the town manager, not an individual. So,
Who is head of that department?
Huh?
Who is then head of that department?
Well, what you're talking, you're making some statements, this is my personal opinion, that are supposed to be coming across as facts, and we're telling you, we've talked with lawyers. They've given us statements in writing, and they say it's not a problem. So, what do we go by? What the lawyers are telling us from MMA? Or individual's opinion that isn't necessarily rooted in Maine law?
Title is Maine law.
Yeah, I've got all this stuff in this file. That's what this is about.
So did they tell you about the prohibited
What?
appointment? Title A, 2606, prohibited appointment. Did they tell you about that?
No, they're.
So then I guess your lawyers aren't as good as I am.
Well, here, let's put it this way. They're lawyers. They've passed the bar, and they're experts in municipal law. That's why they exist.
Yeah, I have 22 years.
Huh?
And I have 22 years.
Of what?
Law.
Okay. Are you a municipal expert in law?
More than you are.
Well, not as much as they are. And this wasn't my opinion. I'm quoting what they said. This is their opinion, and we got it from multiple attorneys because you end up talking to different people at different times. No.
There are attorneys.
Yeah, why don't we? Because of the cost. The first thing you do when you're doing, no, wait a second. You're on the budget committee.
Yeah,
First
I know,
thing
we
you do-
allocated 35 grand.
First thing you do is you go to MMA because we pay a fee to them, and the lawyers are available to us at no charge. And so I would say 90% of the stuff that you see in a situation like that, you go to MMA. MMA will tell you, hey, this is a special circumstance, go to the town attorney. They did not say that in this case, go to the town attorney. They answer these type of questions all over the state, all the time.
Next. Point of order.
I can't understand why you'd want to do a job in there. It's okay.
Anybody from the select board want to
Yes.
comment?
We had an executive board meeting prior to this one for a half hour, and that was the item of discussion. Exactly what we're talking about right now. We went through all of this, all the information, all the stuff MMA, and we all agreed that the position that's being held and being proposed is legal and is fine, and the select board of the town of Naples is okay with it. So I'm not sure where all this opinion is coming from, but we have discussed all this. We went to MMA, we went to lawyers to make sure that we're all on the same table, that what's going forward is okay, so.
Sam, I originally felt like you felt, right? Like I was looking at it from piece of paper standpoint, and these are the rules, and is this a conflict of interest, and so on. And then when I looked at it as what's the best for all of Naples, right? We want there to be a great ACO. And we didn't get applicants that even showed up for an interview. We also want for Naples overall, a strong select board. And part of the reason why I wanted to be a part of this select board is because I feel like it is a strong select board. And I feel like Ted's very valuable as a chair and as a select board member. And I think that he loves this town so much that no matter what the rules are, I think he's going to be the best ACO that we've ever had. And that's what I feel in my heart. So for me, as a resident and as a select person, it's more important to go with my heart on this one than what's on paper.
Kevin, you all set?
You don't want to hear what I want to say, so let's move on.
Colin?
I'm good, brother.
Okay. Anything else for public participation? Yeah, go ahead.
So my name's Tim Riley, and I live on Basswood on the Crooked River. And I'm looking for an update on what you guys are going to do about the dam removal project, when it's going to be finished and when the landscaping starts. I mean, everything's been done half over there. They ripped out all the plants. They've ripped out all the blueberry bushes because they call them invasive species. And no landscaping's been done yet. And they haven't continued with the invasive species removal going up the river like they said they were gonna do. And we hear rumors that the contractors haven't been paid for that project. And I just wanna, because I know the town's name is on the permit for that project. So that's another exposure for the town. And what are we gonna do about the environmental damage out there? I mean, someone wrote a report that only the first 300 feet of the river were gonna drain. It's drained 3 miles up. There's a 2-acre wetlands that's drained. They used to be filled with ducks. We used to wake up in the morning, there used to be 25, 30 ducks on that river. Now there's not one duck out there because all the small fry have died off because of the heat of the river. It's gotten so shallow, the rocks heat up, transfer the heat to the water. And the water went up to 80 to 82 degrees last year. And it's already started doing it again this year as things start warming up. But there's a lot of environmental damage out there that needs to be addressed.
Can you make notes and see where we are with the finish of that project?
Yep.
Okay, great.
Yeah, because there's a lot of us here, and we still have 2 neighbors who don't have water in their houses. And under Maine law, if you don't have water in a house, you lose your occupancy permit. So technically, they can't even live in those houses.
Are we aware of those 2 homes?
Yes.
Randy?
And they've been down, and both people have been down and talked with the former manager. And he said, I'll handle it. And nothing's ever happened. And we talked with the people last week. I mean, Gary, you were over there checking the wells again, and they're still dry.
Well, they're not dry because they put a new well in that Jason said that they would help her with. They fear that. Either the town or that the fishing department that paid for everything. That was an issue that should have been checked on before they even done this, that water might go dry in their wells. And I believe the other guy put 2 wells in, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
When he built a brand new house, he had to.
He had to put 2
one in that one
wells in
dry and
because
put
both of them
another
went dry on them. One was a drilled well.
So they may have water now, but it cost them dearly.
I was aware of one, I wasn't aware of the
Yeah,
second.
like he had to leave his house at Christmas time because he didn't have water
Okay.
to flush the toilets inside the house. And again, under Maine law, under International Building Code, IBC, he doesn't have an occupancy permit for the house. He's not even supposed to set foot in that house.
Is that the new structure?
No,
He's
that's
the
an
one that has the
existing
2
one.
wells, the new structure.
new
The
structure.
other one's the lady on the other side of me.
Yep.
And he was over there, Jason came over and checked it all out and everything. They were down there, yeah.
Yeah, and all the small tributaries have drained down to the river.
There must be record of the second house someplace,
Oh, there is.
Randy.
There is,
Yeah,
there
I'll check into it.
But he came down the end and said, well, we can't help you.
Yeah, they told him to go and get the cost of putting the original well in, which was done 50 years ago. Like, where's the guy gonna find that?
Yeah.
And he had to go out and hire a well consultant to come out and pay them $500, which he's never been reimbursed for. And the guy come out, looked at the well.
If you stick around after the meeting, I can give you my business card. It has my contact information on it, and just reach out to me and let me know who I need to talk to.
Yeah.
Yep, we'll get on it.
Thank you.
And I just want to figure out what we're gonna do about cleaning up the area. Because if that beach was across from you here at Town Hall, that beach would have been done a year ago. Right now, that's the only beach we have in the neighborhood up there. And it's
He's
the
also-
community swimming hole.
He's also gonna check into the completion up there.
Yeah. Yeah, I was told by the end of this year, but I'll follow up. I don't have a card on me right now.
I wasn't gonna speak on this issue, and I don't wanna beat a dead horse, but I think what's happening now with this issue is just one of many issues that the town needs to realize, and we really need to look into a charter. It's time. It's time that we look into a charter, because a charter is going to address a lot of these issues, where things get deferred. Now, I heard a comment tonight that the ends justify the means. That's all well and good, but that's not necessarily right. And perception is reality. That's not always good, but that's what really happens in life. We've got issues far beyond what's going on in question here tonight. Ted, there's no question in my mind, Ted loves this town, and I'm a big supporter of him, and he knows that. But he's put us in an awkward position right now. And you know, there's a white elephant in the room, and it needs to be addressed. And it's probably not going to get addressed tonight, but it needs to get addressed long-term. We've got members of our planning board who just won re-election who do not show up to meetings. 60% attendance rate. This is insane. We've got a select board member who can't make meetings on Monday night. When you run for the select board, you make a commitment. Life changes, things change, but when those things happen, you have to make an adjustment. There's 4,000 people in this town. They deserve to have the commitment, representation, and dedication of the people who run for office and the people who represent us. And there's a lot of instances in town right now that that's not happening. We all know how I feel about Town Hall not open 4 days a week, or not open 5 days a week, not representing the citizens. One issue in and of itself doesn't sound like a big deal. But when you add them all up, it is a big deal. So I honestly think you guys should set aside a workshop sometime the next month or so. Find out how you start. I already know how to do this, but find out how you start the beginnings of a charter, because you have to appoint a commission, you have to look into the issues, the commission reports back to you, and then the townspeople ultimately decide whether they're going to vote for it or not. But in charters, they have attendance regulations. You miss so many meetings, you're no longer on that board. And the list goes on and on. So you identify the issues that potentially can come up, so we don't have a situation like this where we put somebody on the spot or we're arguing about an issue. But this rears its ugly head. There's some issues going on in this town, and at the end of the day, it is not representing the citizens of Naples the way they should be represented.
And that's why we need more people involved.
My wife won't let me get more involved.
As far as me, Jim, I said it from the beginning, and I think I said it to you. Again, I have no problem stepping down as the chair. It's up to this board who's going to be the chair. And I wanted to finish my term, which is one more year. And if the people don't want that, then I won't do it. But right now, there's only one person telling me that. And there's still over 4,000 more.
I'm only here because I got multiple phone calls to be here.
I want
I'm
you
not
to
here for
stay.
myself.
What's that?
I want you to stay.
Well, you know, and
No,
the,
and it's not so much Ted Shane, is that you provide consistency, direction, and I believe that you have done your due diligence. I believe that you have researched this issue, and I believe the information you have gotten, you're presenting accurately. And that's all I need to know.
And
I
so,
appreciate that, thank you.
and so what? Because I agree with Kathy, but so what? How many times do you have a vote here, when I've been here at a select board meeting, somebody recuses themselves because they're involved in something. So if you have to recuse yourself, well, so what?
And I will,
And
on
I
that
know you
issue.
will. I know you will. And that's what, never mind. If these people don't like the way it's run, as Arlene says, we need more involvement, and if they don't like the way it's run, go back where they came from. We don't need them. And I'm sorry, that's exactly the way I feel.
I believe we have a town chat.
No, we don't.
We don't have a chat.
I believe that was in a conversation many years ago.
It may have been talked about, Ed, but we don't have one.
But if we can't follow the comprehensive plan, what's a town charter gonna
That's what we have as a comp plan. An old one.
do? Yes.
There's a committee working on it now, and isn't there?
But there should be updates to that effect. I disagree with two maintenance guys on the budget committee too,
Right.
but they did what they were supposed to do.
You know, no secret to anybody, I do work in another town where discussions like this happen quite often. And there's always a member of the select board that says, I heard from, and I heard from, and I heard from. And I always say, where are they? Instead, Sam came tonight to speak for however many called her. And it's just, he's still one person, speaking for many.
Just a really loud one.
It's just, what's that?
So I'm just a really loud one, that's why they call me.
That's why I'm not allowed. Jim Fratello over here threatened to throw me out.
Anything else for public participation? We'll move on. Oh, sorry.
One more thing. We are, at Smoking Jays, are more than willing to work with our neighbors and to make everybody happy, on a happier note. Yeah, we would love to work with our neighbors and whatever guidelines we need to fit in, we are more than willing to do that. We're part of this community, we want to stay part of this community, we want to make everybody happy, so, thank you.
Moving on. Number 5 is adjustments to the agenda. If you guys want to make adjustments, we can, but I don't think it's necessary. The rest of this agenda is short. Anybody?
I'm all set.
Colin, you all set? Move on.
I'm good.
We'll move to approval of licenses and permits.
Make a motion to approve 6A, 6B, 6D, 6G, and 6H. I'm omitting Smoking Jays and the 2 Legion ones.
A, B, D, G, and H.
Second.
Colin's motion and Kevin's second is to approve 6A, B, D. I'm going to say what they are. A is for Jay's trash removal. B is Lakeside Trash Pickup. D is Causeway Commons LLC. Excuse me. G is Goodhue Naples LLC. And H is a liquor license, the one-time liquor license for Trillium Events Incorporated. Seconded by Kevin. So we'll discuss those 5 first.
I just want to revisit the we didn't talk to Jay's trash removal. I just wanted to make sure, with
We
your-
did, he's here. He was the first one that spoke.
Right, right. But I didn't ask the same question that I asked for Lakeside, and that was just confirming what would be at your home.
Saturday's the only day I'm doing trash.
Okay,
And it's not coming to my house.
okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions or comments about A, B, D, G, or H? And this is not omitting C, E, and F. I believe that's a different discussion, is why Colin brought up only those 5. All in favor? Aye. Colin?
I via Zoom.
5-0 for those 5. Now we'll take a motion for C.
Say, motion to table.
Kevin's making a motion to table C until our next meeting so that we can get all the questions answered about the business district and the residential district that that
Second.
building is in. As long as you're okay with waiting 2 weeks, we will discuss this before the 4th of July.
I appreciate that. Now, I just have a question real quick.
Can you come up?
Yes, absolutely.
Just for
I mean,
procedure.
I know other places have, I mean, did the other place not have entertainment? Have they not had entertainment permits before?
So some have and some haven't. It's always been a big discussion about that building.
Okay.
So I just want to, in my opinion, I want to make sure that we've checked all the boxes.
And we appreciate, like I said,
on behalf of the town of Naples.
and we're willing to do whatever it takes to make everybody happy, so we appreciate that, and I'll be back in 2 weeks.
Great, thank you.
Is there, something that she can do, like a temporary?
I did have somebody planning on coming Saturday, because I didn't think it'd be an issue, but I can always reschedule. I mean, we're not gonna do anything to step on anybody's toes or anything like that, but it is the summer season, we would like to get it going rather than later, but we'll do whatever we need to through the town, so.
So it's up to the rest of the board, but personally, I'd like to wait.
Yeah, no problem.
So we're all on the same page.
No problem. And
But I'm not the only say. The rest of the board can say, we'll make a motion, they can have something next week, whatever they want to do.
Just so what I do have scheduled is an acoustic gentleman who does classic rock and roll from 4:30 to 7:30 this Saturday. But it can be moved and we can discuss later. And we're not planning, like I said, I'm not planning to have rock bands or anything. We're not a very big spot. I can't have a lot of crazy entertainment anyway. Just some options and decibel levels. We'll work within zones, whatever we need to. We'll be accommodating to everybody. We want our neighbors to be happy and want us to
That
be happy.
entertainment inside, outside.
Whatever I'm told I can do, I will do. So, like, I mean, if we can do it outside, we'd love to. If not, it'll be inside, whatever
But
works.
she can do it inside, can't she? So you can still have them inside.
I mean, whatever you say, I'm okay with. I mean,
I think she can, right?
There's different opinions about that, and that's why I want to make sure we get the right answers.
Isn't the
But-
license only for outdoor entertainment? I
It
thought,
doesn't say that. Just
It
says
doesn't?
entertainment permit. That's why I want to make sure what our rules say, either inside or outside, or nothing. I don't want to say that I don't know, but I want to make sure I know before I vote.
And furthermore, the discussion like Kathy said, when there was a petition, it was about rezoning. It was about going residential to commercial, and there was a strong opposition.
Yeah.
And then furthermore, this further discussion was, like she said, she has a lot of the facts, and if it comes down to us making a decision on whether that she's allowed acoustic until 9 or 8, I guess that's up to hashing out. It's still residential at this point, but it is still the same use it's been since prior to zoning. So it's grandfathered as what it is. So as what it is should it be entitled to some sort of entertainment and it's just restricted to inside? So I don't know, but it's grandfathered as a restaurant. It's been in that kind of facility since before. So I guess that's a discussion we're having. Any investigation we can do to get opinions from the neighborhood or whatever before that would be helpful.
Go ahead.
Again, I want to stress, again, Kevin said it and I'll say it for the third time. What we opposed was going from residential to commercial, 100%. The other crux was, the owners did not want to follow the town rules. That was not the neighborhood enforcing any rules or having any opinion other than they needed to fill out the proper forms and follow what every other business in town had done and they didn't want to.
It seems like she's
Yeah,
very
And I have
willing
done.
to do everything. I feel for you
I
as
appreciate
new
it.
business.
I have, as far as we know, I've filled out all the paperwork, I've done everything, I paid for the mailers and for us to put in the paper, because I sort of, and that was assumption, us paying for that and leading the town was to give all of those residents an opportunity to be here,
Right.
to say whether or not they'd like to, and it seems like you're the only one who has come, and you're.
And we stated multiple times we supported the business 100%. As long as the business followed every other rule that all the other businesses had to follow.
And I think
that-
that's-
And it seems to me like you're doing.
Yeah, and that just sort of seems like what you're supposed to do anyway.
Yeah,
So I mean,
yeah.
we would obviously do that. We want to play by the rules, and like I said, we want to be part of this community and just offer some entertainment. So whatever works, we are willing to play by the guidelines and do whatever we need to do, so.
I also think it's good for all of Naples. The more businesses do different things and offer entertainment, it's good for the town.
We appreciate it. And we're just trying to also just support local musicians, and we're not planning to get anything big, but we all gotta support each other, small business, local, and that's what our number one goal is always at our restaurant, so.
You can give them a 30-day conditional.
That's
That's what I-
Conditional license for 30 days, so it covers the Father Fest, it covers 4th of July in case your next meeting gets canceled because you don't have a quorum. You can give them a 30-day condition.
That's what I was just about to offer to the rest of the select board, a conditional permit until we get all the answers. And if somebody wants to make that motion, that's fine.
I'll retract my motion to table it.
Okay,
And I'd like to make the motion that we give them the 30-day license.
do you want to restrict that to inside only or not? That's part of your motion.
I do not.
Do you want to limit the hours?
Yes,
To what time?
to limit the hours until, you said you're open until 8?
We're open till 8, we're hoping to crew up and possibly be open till 9, but no later, and we can certainly, or like I said, right now, what we were thinking was 4:30 to 7:30, or maybe 5 to 8 in those hours, because I mean, if you keep them, our thought is, we work a lot of hours, so if we stop at an hour before we actually close, people can actually shift out, and we can close and clean up and get out of there
Okay,
and
so
not be here
till
anymore.
9.
So-
8? She just said 8.
Okay, until 8, and so weekends, or we want to limit to weekends?
What did she check off?
So we are actually only open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
There you
So
go.
I mean, those are be our hours anyway. And I mean, I'd be okay with 8. And if further you had decided that we could have it, and if we go up till 9 if we are open, we'd like to do that. But for right now, we are happy with whatever we can.
Just for
cover.
this conditional?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you want it to be unplugged, or as in acoustic, or do you want it to be band, full band?
That's all part of the motion.
Well, is there some kind of decibels, you said before, that 70 decibels or whatever? I have full faith in her being reasonable with the music.
Absolutely.
How many days a week?
Even probably 1, 2 at the most.
Is that on the application, right?
She said they're only open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
So does that mean all
It-
those days?
Let me check the application.
I don't remember if I asked for all of those days, but we certainly wouldn't be doing them all of those days.
That's
It
what
might
it
say-
says, Ted. That's what it says.
It says Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
And
But it was more the ability to do that on a Thursday.
Oh, it
If we
says
couldn't do
Wednesday,
Friday, Saturday, do
too.
Thursday, Sunday, or whatever.
But aren't the other businesses limited to certain days? Is it,
No.
do they can do it 7 days a week?
According to the entertainment
Her-
license, that's what you're asking.
Her application says Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
And I might have just put the Wednesday because we were hoping that maybe we'd be able to crew up on Wednesday and have people. We take Mondays off, Tuesday, Wednesday, my husband and I are there smoking for the rest of the weekend. So We were hoping that Wednesday, but it's really going to be Thursday through Sunday are our regular hours. And like I said, we are more than willing to, whatever hours.
Smoking meat.
Smoking meat, yes, sorry, yes, I forgot to, he's a pit master, that's what we're doing there, sorry. We'll be there for like 16 hours smoking meat all the time. So yes, sorry, so those would be, and like I said, when I did apply, it was really, I don't plan on having everything there. We're not planning on being a place that's like the nightlife, we kind of have a beer, listen to some music, we just want to have options.
So, I don't know where you are with the motion, but I'm hearing a conditional permit for 30 days until we can get all the answers. For Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, until 8 PM,
Yes.
not to exceed 70 decibels.
Yes,
That is the motion.
that is the motion.
And a second.
And a second from Steve. Any other questions or comments from the board? Colin, do you have anything?
I'm good.
You're good. You ready to vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you guys, I
Colin?
appreciate it.
Thank Kathy.
5-0 for conditional.
Kathy was your saving grace of that.
Thank you guys, we appreciate it very much.
Colin, I'm gonna ask you about E and F. Did you leave that out because you're a member there?
Yeah, I'm just abstaining because I'm a member, I was on the
Abstaining.
board, my name's on part of the application, so I'm just.
Okay, so I need a motion for E and F, which is the liquor license for the American Legion and the entertainment permit for the American Legion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Colin is abstain?
I abstain.
4-0-1. Under old business, it's labeled as nothing. Do we have anything? Randy, has anything come up since the print of this agenda?
Just Kathy.
Kathy, under old business.
I don't mean just Kathy, but Kathy.
We would like to request being able to put our, like we did for the silent auction, and we had a banner here. And we'd like to be able to do that for the fundraiser on June 28th. Now, when we put the banner up, Jason let us put it up for 3 days. But I didn't want to put Randy in the position of, oh, Jason let us do that, but, because we'd like to put it up for a full week. So I just felt it was more transparent and to come and ask you if we could put it up for a week instead of just 3 days.
So that's an addition to your permit. It wasn't on your permit,
It was not on the permit.
but next year, if you want a banner, just add it on the permit and make
Oh,
it much
thank you.
easier.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Okay.
So, need a motion to allow them to put up a banner for their silent auction
So moved.
It's for the craft fair on June 28th.
for the craft fair on June 28th.
Yeah, we already did the silent auction.
You've already done the application for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Yes,
addition.
yeah, that's all.
Addition to.
Yeah, we just didn't think about I didn't think about it when I put the application in.
Sunday to Sunday, the banner?
Yes.
Okay. There's a motion. Need a second.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any questions? Colin?
I just have a question, where did that sign holder come from? That it wasn't there years ago. Did that get put up for an occasion and then just became permanent?
Yes.
All in favor? Aye. Colin?
I via Zoom.
5-0.
Thank you.
Under new business, vote for chair and vice chair for the select board.
Make a motion to delegate Ted for the chair as, for the select board.
Second.
Any other nominations? Before we vote, I'm going to say it one more time. I am willing to step down as chair if anybody else wants it.
Bring to a vote.
All in favor as myself staying as chair?
Aye.
Colin?
Aye via Zoom.
I am going to abstain.
That's pretty smart.
Any nominations for vice chair?
I nominate Colin.
Second.
My question for Colin is, what's your situation now with work, being out of town 4 days a week?
Yeah, it's the same as last time you and I talked, Steve. It's not changing for the foreseeable future. So if you guys want to elect a different vice chair, I got no qualms about that. I may look at changing my schedule to be on Mondays and start making meetings again. It's fluid right now with the military, so I'm just kind of in a holding pattern. Retirement's taking a little bit longer than I anticipated.
I say,
Any other nominations?
we'll roll with it, and if you feel you need to step down, is that, you can bring it up at a later date?
Yeah, for sure. Or if there's a certain occasion, like we know that, there's not gonna be a quorum, you guys need me there, I can make a special trip back to be there. It's not fun, but I'll do whatever needs to happen. Unless you wanna do it, Kev. I can nominate you, Kev. I love nominating you for stuff.
Too late. We got a motion in a second.
All in favor for Colin to be the vice chair?
Aye.
Abstain via Zoom.
401. Any other business?
I've got two topics, Mr. Chair.
Is your volume up all the way, Randy?
Yeah.
Can you hear me, Ted?
Yeah, they couldn't figure out how to get that speaker to work. He's on there, but the only volume we can hear is on that.
Oh, I got a little bit left. Try that.
Can you hear me, Ted?
Yeah.
Oh, that was better.
I got two things, if it's okay.
Maybe if you speak closer to your microphone. it might help us.
I'm going for a tour. First topic I've got is I make a motion to look at the fee schedule. I don't know if you guys heard or not, but there was an instance of a resident dumping trash, construction debris at Tricky Pond Launch. That was pretty appalling to me. So I want to look in addressing the fee schedule to address people that are dumping trash somewhere. I know there's a state statute, you can call it cops, but I'd like to really enforce that and put that on our fee schedule if nobody's got objections. So that's a motion, just to look at that and have Randy take a look and come up with a plan of what a feasible fee would be for that.
Fee or fine? The fine goes on the fee schedule, is that what you're saying?
I think so. I think that's where it goes. I think the same is for code enforcement. Theirs are on there that, if you don't have a permit, whatever, you get fined per day.
Second.
A motion and a second to look at our fee schedule for the dumping of trash. And we do have a second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 5-0. What's your next one?
Second one, I make a motion out of the select board discretionary fund to spend $800 to the events committee. As town manager alluded to earlier in the meeting, Father's Fest has really taken off. It's on Channel 13 News, and it's getting a lot of visibility. I'm a little concerned. I think some other people are that potentially might need to hire a deputy in another porta potty or something. I'm not sure. So I'd like to build that in there, contingency fund, in case something happens before Father's Day and that event, that they have a little bit of extra money to spend. If not, it just rolls back into the account.
How much did you ask?
I said 800, just as a buffer.
Second.
So just to be clear, Colin, what I heard was you want us to make that money available only for the Father's Day event.
Correct. Because their budget kicks in July 1st, but I think just in case something happens for the weekend or this coming weekend, that they've got a little bit of money to spend.
Okay. Got a motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye via Zoom.
5-0. Anything else?
No, sir. Thank you.
Anything else for other business?
Let's see, Colin and I were chatting about just our capital improvements, just, work to do to the buildings, going out, sending it out to bid, some of the projects that need to be taken care of, the siding, step in, Colin, whenever you want. Other things that, the different facilities that we've done sidewalks, we walked around, made lists, checklists and stuff, and, there is money in reserve for the capital improvements, and if we could just, we know that our maintenance department is overwhelmed with ditching and other routine services, so that maybe we just send them out to bid.
I agree, Kevin. You know, we definitely have a list of things. I mean, you can just look around at our facilities on the Village Green and notice that, you know, there's trim and stuff that needs to be fixed. And I think, you know, under the current spending policy, town manager can spend up to 15. I mean, I might just go find a roofing guy or a siding guy and say, hey, fix everything that's broken. Give me a price. The money was put in there last July, like, it definitely needs to get done. It should be addressed. Because it's just gonna, like, you know, Sam alluded to, if we don't address the problem, it's gonna become a bigger problem.
Yeah, Steve and I walked around with siding on the back. You need to put a roof over the heat pumps. And then the Historical Society over there, their roof got damaged. They've got trim around the door where the truck comes out. And then on the back side, I think there's some soffit issues and stuff. So, yeah, we were talking about it too.
I would rather see us hire a contractor to take care of that instead of dumping that in the lap of the maintenance crew. We seem to do that with a lot of small projects, and other things get held up because of that, so I'd rather see us find one contractor and bang it all out.
What's the limit for going out to bid? Like
15, isn't it?
Okay.
15,000.
So you don't have to, below that you don't have to.
Correct.
You should be able to get most of this done for that.
It'd be nice to just kind of look, some days looks a little ragged coming into the entryway of
Agreed. Yeah.
So anything we can do to shine it up.
Okay.
Add in pressure washing of this building. I mean, it seems to attract all the bugs. All the soffits always look like they're covered with bugs.
That could be the lights. Maybe the fixtures should be changed to downward lighting or something that are further out with a pedestal or some kind of hanger arm or something. Maybe there's beautify those and upgrade those to get the bugs further away from the building.
Okay.
Oh, something like that.
Hey, Randy, personal,
Right.
Randy, I got a task, but.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
No pressure on it, but will you take a look at the purchasing policy when you get a chance? I don't want to leave a door open for future people, you know, somewhere down the road that allows split purchasing. Even though the cap's 15,000, I don't want somebody to come in and say, well, I only spent 10, then I spent another 10, then I spent another 10 on the same project eventually, but I just don't want to see that happen. So we got to put a clause in there or something that says no split purchasing or something.
Okay.
Any other business for the select board?
Do you guys need me to stay still?
What's that?
Do you guys still need me to stay?
No, you got approved.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're all
So-
set.
Thank you.
Sorry, I thought you stand.
Is there a motion on this, Paul, or is it just go ahead and do it?
a business.
I say do it, it's already done, the money's been.
I need a motion to adjourn.
Second.
I didn't make the motion. I asked for a motion.
Oh, so moved.
Have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor? Aye. Colin? 5-0.